Hey friends, welcome to Post to Post. Welcome to Jersey Concept Friday. I can tell you this right now, I have been waiting months for this specific video. The concepts that we are going to look at today are Winter Classic themed and they're matchup based. So we don't have 32 files or 32 teams to go through. Technically we do. We have 16 files. So we've got head-to-head matchups. Hypothetical Winter Classic matchups here with jersey concepts. A theme between the two jerseys, I think. I've not seen these before. You've not seen these before. We're going to react to these together. All I see is the file names. So I know what the matchups are. I just don't know what the jerseys look like. These are by Brennan, and we've looked at his work in the past. It's phenomenal, and I can't wait to see these. I'm so excited for this video and these concepts. I love jersey concepts, obviously, but something just a little bit different, like these matchups. Man, sign me up for that any day. Now, the concepts that you're going to see in this video are using the template from sportstemplates.net. If you want to get that for yourself, go to sportstemplates.net and use code POST2POST. Get yourself 10% off, and that applies for every single template on the site. I always say that. It doesn't have to just be the hockey jersey template. It could be any template on the site. 10% off with code POST2POST. It could be football, soccer, baseball. It doesn't really matter. Play around with your creativity. Come up with whatever lot of designs that you want. It doesn't have to be jerseys. It could be football helmets. Send them in. I will review, react, or rank them, and I've got a lot to go through. So expect a lot of content in the next couple of months of a lot of hockey and non-hockey stuff. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And like I said, code POST2POST, save yourself 10%. Let's get into this. Finally, coming up is Avalanche versus Wild. Oh yes, side by side. I was hoping it was going to be an easy thing to visually look at here, and it absolutely is. Great job on presentation here, Brennan. Okay, so first impressions, the jersey on the right, the Minnesota one, nailed it. Like, I think that is, obviously they've been in some kind of classic themed things like the Winter Classic, and I don't think they've been in Heritage Classic, but they even have jerseys that kind of look like that from their past. So kind of going back into their history a little bit and pulling out that logo, changing it a little bit. The design of the rest of the jersey also kind of pulled from their previous history. I think that's great. Like, it's not the super classic, like 1920s jersey that we expect from some of these teams, but it is classic to their brand, and I think that's perfect. I actually really like that jersey. Over to the left, we've got, I guess, a jersey maybe from the similar era as the one we see on the right, but the logo that we see on the right. But the one on the left is from, I believe, I don't know if it was Reebok or CCM, but Colorado did use that kind of angled logo on the front there. So that's classic for a team that's not that old. Neither of these teams are very old. I think the arms and the bottom of the jersey don't scream Winter Classic to me. They scream more like Stadium Series or Modern. But I do like the jersey in general, for sure. Like, I like both of these jerseys. I think if I were to pick between the two, I would go, based on the Winter Classic thematic, I would go with the Minnesota jersey for this one. Next, we've got St. Louis versus Nashville. This is probably a very predictable matchup maybe for the future. And the jersey on the left, that logo gets pulled from a Reebok jersey in around like 2012-ish, I think. That was an amazing jersey. Didn't sit on the same blue, I don't think, as we see in this concept, but a great jersey. This is also great. The striping in the front of the shoulders, I wonder if that's to maybe hypothetically replicate a certain structure that's in St. Louis. Maybe not. But that's what I see. So if that was your intention, Brennan, good job. Stripes along the bottom are very nice. Now, the Nashville jersey also kind of has that same, like, tri-stripe, that you've got the 3 yellow stripes in there as well. So they're sharing a bit of design language, and I think that's important. Brennan's really kind of conceptualized not just each individual jersey, but the event as a whole, because you do see that sometimes with these, like Stadium Series, for an example. I think it was the Philadelphia and Pittsburgh one that both their jerseys look very, very similar. So I think Brennan's done a great job logically making a decision here with the two jerseys and the theme, and because they look like they belong together, don't they? So great job on that. I do prefer the St. Louis one versus the Nashville one. I find it maybe the stripes a little bit busy. I mean, they've got the same amount of stripes on each jersey, but it just feels, to me, it just feels more busy on the Nashville one. I like the way that the logo is designed. I would go St. Louis on this one. Okay, Montreal versus Boston, classic. So the jersey on the right, and these were created probably 3 or 4 months ago, I would say. So this predates the launch of the new the three new Boston jerseys that we have recently. So it's interesting to look at that and see some similarities to what we actually got, specifically with the alternate jersey. That Boston jersey is very nice. I like that a lot. Now the jersey on the left from the Montreal Canadiens, that has shades of Reverse Retro 2.0 with that light blue. It's got shades of the Barber Pole jersey from 100 years ago or whatever it was. This is a great kind of combination between a bunch of Montreal Canadiens things. He even has a different logo there, a classic version of the logo. Just a great job, I think, on both of these jerseys. Now, as a Canadiens fan, I'm obligated to say that I like the Montreal one more. But I think even objectively, I do like the Montreal one more. So often we see Barber Pole concepts because people want it to come back, which is great. But it's a very polarizing design. And I don't think this is, and I mean that in a good way, it's not too aggressive. Like the stripes on the arms aren't too aggressive. They're pretty subtle. And that's a great Montreal Canadiens jersey. I really like that a lot. Next, the Vancouver Canucks versus the Seattle Kraken. Okay, if these aren't in a Winter Classic, they're definitely going to be in a Stadium Series or some kind of event for sure coming up. They are geographical rivals. The Vancouver jersey is fantastic. We got to go back to, I don't know if it was the late 90s or early 2000s when they made the switch. I think it was maybe early 2000s. But this is prime Neil watching hockey time in the early 2000s. And when I think Vancouver Canucks, the skate jersey is great. And I was around and watching hockey then, but this era right here, this is what I think of when I think of Vancouver. So I really am gravitating towards that Vancouver jersey. The jersey on the right, the Seattle Kraken one, anything Seattle is going to be new and is going to be great to us. It's still that new brand in the NHL, and people get excited about it. I think just based from a nostalgia standpoint, I would prefer the Vancouver one, but both are nice. Ooh, wow. A lot of blue and a lot of red happening here. The Washington Capitals versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I love the Blue Jackets logo. Just going to start this off by saying that. And I even like the stripes on the arms as well, and the stars on the sleeves. But something's happening here with this jersey that typically doesn't with me. For example, I really like squared off shoulders. It is one of my favorite things on jersey designs, regardless of team. And people like the more rounded yokes. There's no right or wrong answer, just personal preference. So if you were to predict whether I was going to like these shoulders, you'd probably say yes if you know me. But I actually kind of don't like the squared off shoulders on this one. I'm wondering if this should just be white coming all the way up, allowing the color to kind of sit down below a little bit. I mean, very minor change. I'd have to see it to kind of, give a final opinion. Over to the Washington Capitals one. This is also fantastic. Both of these jerseys are great overall. Stars on the sleeves is why both teams use stars, right? Washington does on their jersey and the logo, and on their pants, I believe, and Columbus does on their jersey. I don't know if they do on their pants. But anyways, both teams utilize those stars, so it's nice to kind of see this matchup. This matchup makes sense, I guess, from that perspective. That Washington jersey is great. I wouldn't change anything about it, actually. It's good stuff. Amazing jerseys so far. Next, the Arizona Coyotes versus the Chicago Blackhawks. That Blackhawks jersey is phenomenal. I adore it. I like the off-white. I like the classic logo, similar to the one that we see in the Reverse Retro 1.0, and slightly similar to the Winter Classic black and white one. That's fantastic. That is one of the best. That is definitely one of the best Chicago Blackhawks Winter Classic concepts I've seen, or jerseys in general. The Arizona one is going to be a miss for me, probably my first miss of this entire lot. I've just, I guess, personal preference. There is no wrong or right, remember. But personally, I've never been a fan of that Roadkill Coyote logo. The rest of the jersey's fine, but it doesn't really do much for me in general, and the logo kind of a miss for me. So definitely Chicago in this one for me. Okay, Anaheim. We've got a beautiful Anaheim jersey here. The first thing I saw was the numbers. That green or that teal or whatever on black. Wow, that looks good. We got no orange. We've got no eggplant. We've just got gray, a bit of a white. I can't tell what that top stripe is on the arm. I don't know if that's white or silver, but there is white in there, obviously, from the logo. So white, gray, or silver. We got the green and then the black. No orange, no eggplant. That's a nice looking jersey. It really is a nice looking jersey. And then on the right, we've got a combination between two eras, I guess. I love the shoulder patch logo. You put that on the front, put it on the shoulder. It's always going to look pretty good. Of the two, I prefer Anaheim's brand in general. So I'm leaning towards Anaheim here, but I really like that LA jersey. So this one's tough. Both are great. Both are fantastic. I'm gonna go with Anaheim though. I like that. It's a little bit different. Usually concepts, we see the eggplant, we see the orange, and we don't just see the green and the black or whatever. So I like it. Okay, Calgary versus Edmonton, very plausible matchup here. The Edmonton one is going to be a miss on the shoulders for me. I don't love the color on the front of the shoulders. Not a huge fan of the logo on the front, but I love the arms. The way that Brennan's done the arms with the numbers in there and that just additional stripe on top of that middle blue and orange stripe. It's a little thin orange stripe above and below. Great. Also replicated that at the bottom of the jersey. That's amazing. I really like that. The Calgary jersey, that logo on the front is one of the best alternate logos or tertiary logos or whatever that any NHL team has ever used in the history of the NHL, in my opinion. I love that. So I love seeing it on the front. The stripes along the arms are a little bit aggressive, but not too bad. Of the two, I would prefer the Calgary one in this matchup. Next, Vegas versus San Jose. So first impressions, neither of these look like Winter Classic jerseys. They look too modern, I think, for Winter Classic. I would say they lean more towards Stadium Series. I do immediately prefer the San Jose one more. I like the playfulness of the striping down below. It reminds me of Waves. San Jose is in the Bay Area. They're called the Sharks. Makes sense. It builds a bit of a scene in the jersey. So great San Jose Sharks jersey. The LA one is good as well. I don't dislike it at all. It's got some nice angled striping and stuff down below and on the arms. I like where the numbers are. The kind of charcoal gray looks great. The logo is done nicely. I just got to kind of go back to neither of these feel super Winter Classic to me, but both are nice. I would prefer San Jose though. Okay, the Devils versus the Carolina Hurricanes. It's interesting to see so much black and white and red, I guess. I mean, you think I'd see red first, but I just immediately just saw black and white. Now, the Devils jersey is decent. I have no complaints about it. I don't love it though. The Carolina Hurricanes jersey, I kind of feel the same way. Completely acceptable, looks good. Don't really think there's anything wrong with it. Maybe the white neck is a little bit too thick up there, but again, personal preference. I would lean towards the Carolina jersey here. I like the pattern down below, and I prefer the logo, but both are decent. Okay, Tampa Bay versus the Florida Panthers. Immediately, I'm drawn towards Tampa Bay. You have to sell me on the shoulders a little bit, but I love the rest of the jersey. The numbers, the logo, the stripes along the bottom, the main primary blue color that's chosen. Everything else is great. The shoulders might need some work on me. Now, the Florida Panthers jersey, I think maybe some work will be required. I would like to see maybe no blue shoulders and no blue neck. Let the white come up and just have this section, kind of like the Pittsburgh jersey and the original Vegas jersey. Just kind of have that section there to hold the numbers. I'm curious to know if that would look a little bit better. But both are decent. Both are fine. I prefer the Tampa one. Next, Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia. Another very plausible matchup and very classic matchup here. We've got off-white on the Pittsburgh jersey. We've got off-white on the Philadelphia jersey. I think between the two logos, clearly, I think the majority is going to prefer the Pittsburgh logo. However, I think from a jersey lens, the Philadelphia jersey is nicer. So I'm a little bit conflicted here, but I prefer the amount of off-white in the Philadelphia jersey. Also, it's something totally different that we've seen from Philadelphia. So I like that kind of direction that he's going here. A little bit too much yellow on the Pittsburgh one for me. Next, the Rangers versus the Islanders. Okay, so immediately both jerseys are absolutely acceptable, and for a Winter Classic too. I love the shoulders on the Islanders one. I love the shoulders on the Rangers one. I mean, that's pulled from their Winter Classic against Buffalo, was it? And also the away jersey, maybe kind of combining it. Actually, I don't know if there's. I have to relook at that jersey. I'm not sure, but yeah, both jerseys are great. I love the fact that the actual Rangers logo is on the front of the jersey. I don't know which one I prefer here. Both are really good. Next, the Detroit Red Wings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, so immediate impression is I prefer the Toronto one. I think the Detroit one, I don't like the font. I know you got to use the font, but I just don't love it. It feels very, I don't know. It looks like an ad or something, honestly. It looks like, yeah. I don't know. It's just awkward. It's just a little bit awkward. I like the amount of black that's being used here. That's phenomenal. Maybe you could use maybe a little bit of red down below on the bottom just to balance the red out. But the Toronto jersey is great. I do like that. I love that logo on there for a Winter Classic for sure. Good choice. Okay, next, Buffalo versus the Ottawa Senators. I like the almost yin and yang that's happening here. So in the Buffalo jersey, along the bottom, the striping is beautifully done, if you want to call it striping. The change in graphic scene along the bottom, from the blue to the white to the yellow, that is a bit of a U shape. So good. Opposite happens on the Ottawa jersey. In the bottom, the striping goes at the opposite angle in the arms and the opposite angle in the bottom. So it's a bit of a yin and yang thing happening here. And I love both. I think both are perfectly designed. I wouldn't change anything, I don't think. The jersey on the left, I would prefer the Buffalo one. Just, I like the colors better. I think the design along the bottom is a little bit better. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, next, Dallas versus Winnipeg. Oh my goodness, this is a good matchup. Look at these jerseys. Both are so good. Wow. How am I going to pick a favorite between these two? I really like that Dallas jersey. And that is not something that would be like in my wheelhouse for things to like. Like the logo, I would never like something like that. The front of the shoulders is awkward. Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but I like it. I really like it. That's a great concept. And then the Winnipeg one is so good as well. Just changing up the way the striping comes down the arm and adding a little bit of an angle or almost chevron to the bottom aspect of it. Yeah, great colorization, good logo choice. This might be the best matchup so far between all these teams, in my opinion. I'd have to go back and look at all the files, but wow, that's great. I don't even know which one to choose as my favorite. I don't even know. So good. Oh, that was the last one. Okay, let me look at the file names and see if anything stands out. Yeah, there was one. Let me go to the Montreal-Boston one I thought was very good. Very, very good. Both jerseys are excellent. There was one more, too. I like the Columbus-Washington one was really good as well. I'll throw that one up there. But yeah, my favorite's going to be that last one, that Dallas Stars and Winnipeg Jets combo. Don't ask me to choose my favorite jersey from this lot. I don't know about that. I'd have to spend another 20 minutes looking at these. But matchup, for me, it's got to be Dallas versus Winnipeg. This is great. So, Brennan, excellent work. Fantastic work here. Not only in each individual concept. I think there was only one that I maybe disliked, and that was the Arizona one. The rest were great. But looking at a theme of the event and the theme between the two jerseys, that's a lot harder than you could probably anticipate. So anyone out there who's just designing jerseys and wants to follow the similar path as Brennan here and enter concepts here to the channel of Stadium Series matchups or Winter Classic matchups like this or Heritage Classic or whatever, if you're feeling up to it, I challenge you to follow Brennan's footsteps here and kind of submit some things. If you are interested in that, like I said, you can use code post-to-post for sportstemplates.net. You don't have to use that template, but if you want to submit jersey concepts to the channel or any concepts, down below in the description, there's a link to a video where I walk you through all the steps and how to do that. I would love to see your work, would love to see your creativity. And Brennan, thank you so much for submitting these. Once again, I appreciate you. Guys, let me know down below in the comment section which jersey you like the most and which matchup you like the most. I would love to hear your comments down below. I read them all. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. And if you're new, please subscribe to see more content like this. We'll talk to you soon. Adios.